Hey, it's Ange Peters, and I wanted to pop in with you today with a short video to talk about something we don't often actually talk about when it comes to building our business, and that is the influence of the invisible on our growth. There's a truth I want to open up by sharing that I heard well over 20 years ago, actually, and it's the statement that we see the world not as it is, but as we are. And what that's referring to is the state within which we most live impacts the lens that we see the world through, and also impacts the actions that we take to achieve our goals. So today I'm specifically talking about the state of gratitude. When I think of how to best describe gratitude, I think of sitting down to a meal and really tasting each bite, as opposed to just inhaling it onto the next thing. If you've ever slowed down enough to really taste each bite of your meal, then you will have noticed how much of an impact that has on the actual digestion of that meal. No upset stomach, no bloating, and you probably left that meal making a good memory because you were actually present with it. On the other hand, you could have somebody eat the exact same meal as you. They could even be sitting at the same table in the same room, but they might have been watching the news, or they might have been browsing their phone, not really tasting any of it, and ending up with a big old stomach ache, right? You've learned a lot in your journey in doTERRA so far about the mechanics, we'll call it, or the steps that you take to build your business up until now. You're a gold leader. You've put a lot of work in. You've learned those actions to take. So we'll label that as the what in our business. But today, in this short video, I want to talk about the how, right? I want to talk about the energetics, if you will, of our business, or this state that we've opened up talking about, that we most live in. So to expand on what I just shared about eating the same meal, you could take two people in doTERRA doing the exact same work, and both people will have completely different results. And the reason is the how. They may have done the what the exact same way, but that how, it literally supercharges the time with which we do the thing. So you'd think this would be a hard thing to measure, but I want you to reflect on what has happened in the past when you approached work in different states. If you can think about a time in your business where you were feeling really good, where you showed up and you were feeling so grateful for these oils and for this opportunity that exists in front of you, versus a time when you were perhaps approaching things with more of a lower frequency, desperate kind of energy. Maybe you overextended yourself to make an enrollment happen. Maybe it was the last day of the month and you're trying to play catch up for a month of not really focusing on your business. Maybe it was a time when you felt resentment towards a builder that you're working with because they aren't doing what they said they would do, right? If you think about yourself in that state, it's as though you've taken this hose and you've just totally put a kink in it, right? It's kinked up your ability to move things forward. Now I want you to think about a time when you were in a beautiful state of joy and gratitude, and suddenly, maybe it was a day when you weren't even doing doTERRA work, but you were just really in this state, and you come home to a message on Facebook, somebody wanting to learn more about the oils, or maybe you came home to an inbox where somebody had actually enrolled themselves and you didn't even actually physically play a role in that, but it was almost like this, you were in this state of attraction and magnetizing them to your work. Maybe that morning when you were in a beautiful state of joy and gratitude, you posted about the oils, and because of the way that you did it in that state, that led to somebody taking that next step without you even needing to take them to that next step. I've had many experiences where there's been influential people in my life that were on my list, right? Like I'm talking my original list of 100 contacts that I made way back. And on a day when I was really pouring out from that state of gratitude, they messaged me instantly wanting to get started with doTERRA. When we are in this state, we appreciate the things that we want to see more of in our business. So these kinks are removed from from that hose and the tap is flowing. And again, you approach your work very differently. You see things as happening for you and not to you because of that lens with which you're seeing your work. You'll notice when you're in a state of gratitude, more often than not, you feel creative, even if you maybe wouldn't label yourself as a creative person. You'll notice things like I just shared, like you're a magnet in your business. Opportunities literally come looking for you. And let me just define opportunity for a second, because sometimes we think of it as like, oh, this door opens constantly and you're just dancing your way into the next rank. No. When you are in this state, you guys, you see everything is happening for you. So opportunities that are going to continue to come your way will be disguised as challenges. And listen, as a business owner about to cross that 6-figure earning line, you are paid to see your business this way. You are paid to solve problems. You are paid to see challenges as opportunities. So that's really what I wanted to pop in with today, is to remind you that your energy and your mindset and your heart set is 100% up to you. And I really do think it has the biggest influence on whether or not you have a growing business, because what we focus on expands, not only in business, but in life, right? And I'm sure you're picking up by now that so much of what you bring to your business, you bring to your life. And they both play together that way. Now, the other beautiful impact that gratitude has on our business is the ability to dissolve some of those lower states. So for example, I want you to think of something right now that you're feeling really nervous to do in your business. Maybe it's approaching somebody that you would love to work with. If you choose to instead approach that relationship from a state of gratitude, perhaps not even talking about the oils with them for months, but really building that relationship and just your very first conversation with them, being one to let them know how much you appreciate them and the work that they've done, and really letting it lead from there, thanking them genuinely and being prepared for the longer haul with that relationship. I guarantee you it will come full circle. And that person that you're reaching out to right now, that you were perhaps nervous to reach out to, will in fact be somebody that you are working with in your business if you approach this in the right state. Because when we're nervous to do something, when we're anxious, or when we're in a state of fear, we are locked in that state because all we're doing is thinking of ourselves. We're only thinking about how things impact us, how it makes us feel, right? We're like trapped in this box. It's keeping us in that state. But when we shift to see things with a grateful heart for all we have, those next steps just become clear. We look at things like, in a way of how we can show up for people and not how it's going to impact us. Another area this is going to show up for you, if you're a growing leader, one of these days you're going to be asked to step on a stage at an event and share with people. And it's so tempting to say no to things like that because you're thinking of how that affects you. You're thinking about your own nerves, right? But if you shift to this state of gratitude, recognizing all you've been given and all you can give to another person, you step on that stage a different person. You step on that stage as somebody who wants to impact even just one person in the room, to pay that gift forward that somebody at some point did for you. Somebody at some point stepped on a stage for you. Somebody at some point faced their fears to teach an oils class that opened all of this up for you. Ultimately, the question that I find is most helpful when we're talking about gratitude and goals and growth is, can I be trusted with more based on what I've done with what I already have? I think that's a really powerful question. Growth and abundance are best friends with gratitude. I've been building doTERRA now for over 6 years. We have a community of about 80,000 and around 5,000 business builders. And I will say, if there's one thing I've noticed across the board, across my team, it's that the leaders on my team who are the most grateful, who every once in a while, like let's say I'm their enroller, every once in a while they'll pop me a note just to say thank you. I'm so thankful to be part of this and to have access to these oils. They are the leaders that are growing, always. And if I ever have somebody say to me, I'm not growing, I'm stuck, I'm this, I'm that, all these things are going wrong for me, I'll ask them that. When was the last time you just stopped to feel grateful for all that you have? And that can be a really powerful exercise just to bring us back into that state. So I want to end this by bringing us into the practical. With this topic, it sounds a little bit Pollyanna, but it actually is a very important element of this work. There is reworking, there is rewiring that needs to take place to energize our business from this higher place. And this rewiring is important because if we leave this alone and don't practice being in a state of gratitude, our brain is in control then. And our brain is always scanning for what is wrong. It's looking for problems. It's looking to keep us safe and protect us from imminent danger, right? And what we want to do is we want to shift to have our heart leading in our business more of the time. Okay. So when we can actually practice more gratitude, then we're leading from that place where we see things differently. We understand everything's happening for us. So a very easy way to incorporate more gratitude, especially if you're brand new to this, is to just bookend your day. Start your day and finish your day by thinking of even 3 things in your life, in your business that you're grateful for. Use an oil to anchor that experience. Maybe you keep it consistent for the first couple of weeks of doing this. You're thankful for your children. You're thankful for your health. You're thankful for the person that introduced you to doTERRA. Over time, you'll notice that you are cultivating this lens of looking for things throughout your day to feel grateful for. And I would honestly put gratitude up there with water intake, with vitamins, taking our LLV, getting good nutrition, getting good sleep. Having a grateful heart is right up there with those things that we often classify as things to do for our health, okay? So I want to give you a little bit of homework, shall we? I want you to take out just a scrap piece of paper, and I want you to write at the very top, grateful, and then I want you to make 2 micro lists under that word. The first list will say life at the top, and the second list will say business. And all I want you to do is practice this week looking for things to be grateful for in both of those columns, in your life and in your business. And I want this to really serve as just a baseline, as a reference point for you in those moments when you're recognizing that you're not doing the work or operating from a state that is going to grow your business, right? So it's a way to just bring us back to what we know truly does affect that, and let it serve as an opportunity to rewire when we need to. So I want to end this by expressing my gratitude for you, for all the work you've done to bring you to this moment. I have been where you are, and I know the growth and commitment that it takes, and I know you're being stretched right now, and I promise you it will be worth it, because right now you're just getting a taste for what's ahead, honestly. All the good that's already come into your life through doTERRA is going to continue to expand, especially if you apply more of what I've just shared with you in this video. And I'm grateful to be in this work with you.